morning. Beautiful late September morning. It struck me that while I've got videos of me riding my Commando and my Triumph and my BSAs, I'd not actually done a video to talk about how I'd acquired my 1969 Norton Commando Fastback. And this morning I'm hoping to tell you a little bit more about my motorcycle and how I came across her. To be honest, it's nothing more than getting drunk in a pub with friends, with Aunt, Nicola and Joe, and basically having too many beers and seeing a bike for sale on eBay that I really liked, not least because of its striking colour scheme. I've owned her for about 7 years now, and in the 7 years I've made significant changes to the original Norton Commando specification. Whilst I've kept the JPN colours, i.e. the white with the red and the blue, I've made changes to the seat and to the tank. The tank is an aluminium tank made by Tab 2, highly recommended. Their dialogue whilst I was talking to them about a fastback tank was absolutely spot on and exactly what you expect. They are several £100, probably close to £1,000 now with the tap and the Monza cap. So whilst it is a Tab 2 classic aluminium petrol tank with a Monza cap and 2 taps, I took the tank almost immediately to the Dream Machine in Nottingham, who Google them. They're absolutely fantastic. They do most of the race team's colours. It is several £100 to get them painted. They paint matched with the appropriate technologies, and I've been very happy in the several years since they painted the petrol tank. The other changes I've made is that the Mark 1s had the parallel to the rear swinging arm cigar-shaped silencers, and I have a number of friends who own Norton Commandos and always preferred the upswept look of the pea shooter exhausts. I've got Andover Norton pea shooters fitted. Of course, it's never quite as simple as that. I had to change the header pipes, and I had to change the Z-plate hangers, their own isolastic hangers. So again, there's well over £1,000 simply by just changing the exhausts. The other modification I've made is, if you Google Seagar Engineering, I'll put all the links at the bottom of this video, but I actually use Pat Seagar and Seagar Engineering to make some CNC turned exhaust roses. The other ones were grotty, and Pat makes such a nice job of those exhaust systems that it certainly transformed the whole exhaust system. So why the change of view? Change of view is simply that my bike's fallen over twice due to the wet ground whilst we've been filming. So yeah, we covered off the exhaust system, we covered off the fact that I had to change not only the headers, the pea shooters, which I think look absolutely tremendous. Fitted a Payson electronic ignition system. That system has been really fire and forget since I fitted it. I've got a Helicon bar end mirror. A lot of my friends ride with no mirrors on classic motorcycles, and I don't understand that in modern traffic. What else have we done? I've got a number of stainless steel parts. I always buy those from Middleton Stainless. They're extremely competitively priced. I suspect that I need to get my brake shoes relined. If we look at the angle of the brake arm, the brake is in full adjustment, yet not very effective at all. With regards to illumination, I've changed the front headlamp bulb to a Paul Gough LED Daylighter 2. Again, the link will be at the bottom of the video. I simply haven't got round to it, but I've left the conventional tungsten bulb in the rear tail. She's had new control cables throughout, new grips, and pretty much that is it. Electrically, the Norton was never very good. It would continually blow the slow blow fuse. So I fitted a new loom, and despite doing that, the fuse still blew. To that end, I fitted independent fuses to each of the circuits, so charging circuit, lighting circuit, ignition circuit, and a couple of spares under the seat. So each of the circuits is controlled now. So I think one of my other challenges is with this bike, it always appears to wet sump. So this winter, typically end of October through till March in the United Kingdom, she's off the road, and I'm very fortunate that a number of my bikes that are more valuable and kept in a condition that is consummate with riding them and showing them are kept in my hall of my house. So I'm going to take a look at the oil pump, and I'm also going to take a look at some of the older original parts. She still has the rear shock absorbers, and the chrome on here is looking a little bit jaded. I'm undecided whether to replace the shock absorber in its entirety, although it's completely functional, or repair the chrome hat top and get those re-chromed. But obviously, with the cost of labour these days, sometimes it's simply cheaper to replace the whole unit than send them off for re-chroming. But I'll take a look at that over the winter. I had to do an emergency stop, and on a Norton, that was both wheels locked up. And I blew the near side front fork seal. I'd suspected that it had been weeping for a while, but it was only just a mist. But I've got to take that front end off and take a closer look underneath the gaiters. And in fact, I'm not entirely sure that the gaiters are appropriate for the machine, so we'll take a look at that this winter. When I'm riding her, compared to my other 750 or its closest model equivalent, which is my Triumph Bonneville 750 1977, the Norton is far torquier, with the isoelastics separating the engine almost from the rider. So I fitted adjustable vernier isoelastics without removing the engine, using, well, when I say I fitted them, I helped my friend Simon, who'd done it about a year before, and said it was possible to do without removing the engine or gearbox. There's a video on my channel showing how we achieved that. So they're now vernier isoelastics, which means that they're infinitely adjustable. I think you've got to be careful with a bike that has an awful lot of spares available. There is a clip with David Jason around Trigger's Broom, isn't there, where he's changed the handle and he's changed the head, and you actually end up with a completely different bike. I'm extremely conscious that I've changed the tank, the seat, the wheels, the exhaust. I've changed the carburetors. I had the well-known throttle slides rattling within the carburetor, and I got a price for recommissioning those carburetors. And to be frank with you, I was in a position that I just went to Amel Spitfire House and bought a set of the appropriately jetted Premier carburetors, 626s concentrics on this bike. I had for a very short time thought about fitting a single carburetor, but owning many bikes with, obviously they've all got carburetors, balancing carburetors didn't faze me, and I thought there was something about keeping the Commando with twin carburetor. I talked about changing the wheels. I've kept the identical rim model, but I went to Central Wheel Components in Birmingham and had both stainless spokes, stainless rims, and the ferrules, spoke ferrules, all sorted, and those wheels were trued up by a local chap called Graham, who laces my wheels on all of my machines. Another of the changes that I've made, and I keep stopping the camera going and switching it off and coming back going, oh, I must tell people about this, is that, again, everything has been stored, so I've not thrown anything away, but the rear number plate holder on the Norton Commando Mark 1s was absolutely huge and completely disproportionate to the legal size of the lettering. So Jepson's made me new number plates, and I had a local engineering company fabricate me a number plate holder. So here we are, a few minutes into the video, and you'll see that I've done quite a lot of work on this motorcycle. So Mark, the landlord at the Crown at Broughton, has afforded me the time and space more than once to film my bike here. It's always challenging as a pub. It's clearly getting traffic in and out. Hopefully you've bared with me, but thanks to Mark and the staff at the Crown at Broughton for allowing me to set it up. The reason I'm stood behind it is that we've had torrential rain in the last 72 hours in North Cambridgeshire, and my bike has fallen over twice while filming this. It just appears to be covered in mud. There doesn't appear to be much damage, but we'll check that out when we get back to the garage. Let's take her for a ride. Don't forget to hit the like button, and if you feel like getting notified when my next video's out, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Ride safe.